Hello, all my Sun, Moon, and Rising Leahs. Welcome to my channel. Tonight I'll be doing your reading for the first half of November 2018. This is a generalized reading, so if you're interested in a personal reading, you can email me with the email I have below, or you can book a reading off of my website. So I hope everyone is enjoying their Samhain or Halloween, and for tonight I have two divination tools that I'll be using. So I have the Tarot of the Nymphs, and I see at the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Wands, and I shuffle after I do my readings, so this isn't from the other reading. So this is going to be an interesting month for you. I feel like you really are going to find your purpose, or you're really going to be more confident or more happier, or you're going to have a boost of something that makes you feel more, I'm thinking about alive, or something that's around that. So I'm just going to check my time, and I'm also using runes. So I'll be pulling those towards the end of the reading. So I am getting nasally right now, and I have done most of the readings, and I haven't had this. So I'm feeling that you guys may get a little sick towards this time of the year. So it is getting colder, at least for a lot of the areas. Well, it depends where you live, but you guys could get sick. I know in my last reading I was doing random things too, and certain things can happen when I'm honing into the energy of the sign. So I take that into consideration. But overall, I am getting a feeling that this is going to be an intense, interesting, fun, exhilarating, daunting month. It's going to be a lot of things for you, but overall I feel like you're up for the challenge. And I pulled those cards out really quickly. I usually take my time, but it seems like a lot of messages want to be addressed. For the immediate future, we do have an exchange, and this is a great card for this reading. I feel like you're going to get something that you've really wanted for a long time, or that you worked towards. In your past, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and for this one, I am getting that the seed was planted and it grew, and now it's coming into fruition. This is more of physical abundance in some way. It doesn't necessarily have to mean finances, but I am getting it more, I am feeling like it's more of a financial reading. So this was in your past, and it's finally going to happen for you guys. So we do have another ace, and this is the Ace of Swords for the further future. Something that you've been wanting to hear, or a certain message is going to come up. So I am feeling messages, I am feeling receiving, I am getting that you guys are getting towards the end of the cycle, and then you're going to begin a new major cycle. But this cycle is going to end with like a bang. Even if it's not exactly what you're planning it to be, even if it's not the outcome that you were expecting, it's still going to happen. And it just for it to be over is going to be, at least you got your answer. So for your hopes or fears, we have the Two of Swords of uncertainty, or maybe you're going to have certain messages that are going to be, I feel like this is a really cloudy card, that you're not going to receive your messages, that you're not sure about things, that you're trying to think things over, but no matter how much you think about it, it's not going to be you that's going to give you the answer. It's something else, but you do have certain feelings of what's happening. So I am also getting a compromise for the Six of Pentacles too. That although that something's happening, there will be maybe a setback, or there's going to be something where it's it may, I don't want to say hold you accountable, but there's going to be, what's it called, when there's, you have to read between the lines. So even though it is going to be a certain outcome, there's more to it. So I pulled out 3 cards for the Two of Swords. We have the Nine of Swords, which is receiving messages. I am getting this as more of a clairvoyance and maybe listening to your dreams more, listening to or seeing signs. If you're feeling something, if you want to do something that may be helpful for this, I would do it. Don't feel like you need to hold back, because at this time I feel like it's good to follow your instincts, especially with your conscious card being the Moon. And this is more of a confusion card, but it can also be more of guiding that you can't see. So with this being the Major Arcana card, I am getting that this is going to be helpful for your soul purpose. Whatever this outcome is, it's going to be something that is really going to change the game. So I'm going to pull out the subconscious now, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and it seems like a lot of stuff has to be said because I wasn't even finished talking about those other 3 cards that I pulled out. So this is the Knight of Pentacles. Subconsciously, you know that you need to take your time, but it doesn't mean that you can't make decisions. So there's also a certain interconnectedness with things. With the Knight of Pentacles, it's a very earthy type of knight, and he's very practical, he's very wise, he tries to do stuff by the rules, but at the same time he knows what needs to be done. He's trying to become that King of Pentacles. So I'm going to link that to the Nine of Swords, of receiving messages. And the Knight of Pentacles also likes to be really honed in to certain situations. Presently, it's the Knight of Wands, which is interesting because it's kind of like the opposite of what you would expect from the Knight of Pentacles. And this is more of, I would say, being a little, I don't want to say dramatic, but over the top. And maybe you're seeing things in like a large lens than what you need to. So I would say that you don't need to overreact in any way, or maybe exceed your expectations, or try to keep your, know your limitations, but also you can dream big too. So there's the balance of these things. So it's not the easiest case. It's quite complex, but at the same time, there is going to be a simple answer to it. So with the Knight of Wands, what I would say that's really helpful with the Knight of Wands is that he is determined, he is really focused, and the Knight of Pentacles is down with that too. So he can say, okay, well, if I am focused on this, then I can put my actions towards this instead of avoiding it. So this is a very confrontational time for you. So I am also getting like end all be all, and which is unusual. I am feeling like this is going to be a result. You don't have to appeal to it. So it could be a court case, but it is going to be one where you might have to think more into it. You may have to strategize or work around your limitations. So just because there are limitations does not mean that you can't work with them. You just had to work with them in a way that you weren't expecting to work with your outcome, because maybe the outcome isn't as expected. Maybe you're receiving less than what you were planning to, but it's still at least something that can help you. So with the immediate future for that one, again, with the Six of Pentacles, we also have the Page of Swords. So this is a lot of new energy coming in, and it's coming in like intensely. So with the Page of Swords, I am going to say that this is a direct line. This is going to be a message that isn't going to be going around the bush. This is straight up and honest. This is what it's going to be. And that's what it is with the Page of Swords a lot of the times, is that it is more of like a younger energy, and it doesn't really have a filter. It is what it's going to be coming out of, like regurgitating out of somebody's mouth. So it may not be the most, I would say, like respectful type of response, or something that maybe you thought that you were going to receive something more respectable, or depending on your rank or what happened, but this is what happened. So for the present, we have the 10 of Swords. So it's really coming down to a close, even though it doesn't feel like it, because the end is drawing. So like the energy feels like it's going and going and going, and like waiting to the very last second until the last drops, and then there's just going to be a lot of intense energy out of that. There's a lot of intense energy happening right now. I could just feel it. So this is just, your head can be throbbing from this. There's a lot of like going around in circles, doing a lot of algorithms in your head, but no matter if you're like a mathematical genius, you're not going to get the outcome, or you're not going to find out the answer until the outcome comes to you. So on top of that, we have the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is trying to be more of the maternal figure, trying to do the practical thing that's going to be the safest way in order to get your kids or your family or your mom to this place, and be able to come out in one piece, and to be able to be satisfied with what you have, with what you're working with. And I am getting limitations. There is going to be limitations. I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of limitations, but there is going to be some sort of it. It's kind of going to be like, okay, we'll give you this, but either you have to do this, or these are the guidelines of what's going to be coming from it. So that's what it is. And I'll pull out 5 more cards. And another card that wants to be said, or wants to be mentioned, it seems like all of them want to be mentioned at once. So it seems like there's a lot of things that need to get out there. And as I'm saying it, like the energy is more of like fast movement, and I'm losing my breath because there's just so much that needs to be done. And maybe you guys are feeling like that too. So, but you guys know what you're doing, I feel like. So for the Karmic card, we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is a great card. It's an ending card. You're not there yet, but you're going to be, is what I'm getting. And this is going to be a card where you can see yourself grow, and you can see yourself being able to develop in different ways. So I'll see what the more cards for this reading. I pulled out 6. So the energy is the 2 of Wands, and the 2 of Wands is going to be that planning period. Once you receive this news, once you receive your limitations, which you already have limitations, but when you receive the outcome, it seems like you're getting limitations again. So this is going to be working around those. I keep getting limitations. I'm sorry. And for the next step from your obstacle, so your present is the Sun card. So it seems like things are moving forward. Things are going to be coming to an end. But it's also that you're going to get the answer that you're looking for. It may not be exactly what you're looking for, though, but it's going to be a good answer. Your obstacle is the 3 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Pentacles will be planning and building. And it will be hard to plan and build because you don't know what your guidelines are. So for the next step, or that's going to help with your obstacle, again with the 3 of Pentacles, is the Ace of Wands, and I would say do it up with this card. Whatever you have that's given to you, just work with it, and you can make it whatever you want it to be, even though it seems like you didn't have as much, you weren't going to receive as much, and now you don't know how to work with it, but you have enough and you're going to be able to work with it, no problem. So for the past, we have the Six of Swords, and I feel like this is a journey going towards the end of the journey, because this started in the past and now it's moving towards the future, so you're almost there to your destination. With the Swords card, it can be more the mind, but I'm also getting it more with the Wands, or the more the fire. Depending on the deck, a lot of times you can, some creators do switch the elements, with the swords being the fire element and then the wands being the air element, because there's the duality between air and fire, and it is recognized in the deck. So this is more of a fiery energy too, of a catalyst of movement, and also having a calmer conscience and a calmer mind, and being able to essentially sleep better, because it seems like it exudes a lot of energy, not only doing things but also thinking about this nonstop, because it is something that's really going to affect you intensely. So for the future, we have the Four of Swords. So this is also waiting again, but it's also resting because you found out your answer. And this is going to be a good night's sleep for you, regardless of the answer, because I do feel like you guys are going to get something. It's like, okay, fine, I got this answer, now I can sleep again. So that part of your life is finished, and that's a major thing that was making you sleep deprived. And I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the time. So I'm going to pull out, or before I do that, before I pull out 3 cards, I have 3 other cards. So for your environment card, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and it seems like you have been through this before, so it doesn't seem like it's that much of an issue, but there are other things that are added to this circumstance right now that make it a little difficult this time. For your hopes or fears, we have the Two of Swords, and this is going to be a night and day change. This is going to be receiving the answer that you couldn't articulate before. And I'll pull out 3 cards for that one. And then we have, again, the Ace of Swords, being able to receive your answer, which is more in the further future. But again, we also have the Six of Pentacles, which is already getting your compromise. So receiving your answer and getting a compromise, and also your hopes and fears, also linking together with these. So I'm going to pull out 3 cards for these cards, because it seems like those are going to be the most important for the month of November. And I'm surprised those cards didn't turn around, because sometimes I can just turn them around, and usually I wait till all the cards are out. So in the past, you're waiting. It seems like in the present you're waiting, but in the immediate future and even in the further future, you're getting certain answers. So you're going to get more answers. So maybe 2. In present, the Lover's card. So this can be being content with what you already have. And for the future, we have the Strength card, which is your card, which is an amazing card to have for you guys, since it's ending on your card. And I'm going to pull out my runes. And these are completely different than other runes that I've been receiving. Very nice. Because it seems like for the immediate future, and by the way, for those who are familiar with runes, you may have different names for them, so you can just use those names. For the future, we have tear. And so this is more of like a justice of doing the right thing, or something that is meant to happen that's the right thing. If what you're waiting for is meant to happen because it's the right thing that's supposed to happen. In your present, we have Othel, and this is going to be property. So this can be land. This could be something that maybe you already had, but maybe you're getting an upgrade with it. And in your past, we have Pedro. And these runes I haven't seen in a while with the readings, and I haven't seen this combination. But I don't think I've seen any of the runes in the same combinations for this time around. So this is going to be more of interpreting as like the traditional interpretations with the dice cup. This is going to be fate. This is going to be a fortune. This is going to be more of the physical I'm getting. And it's going to be a good one. It may not be as grand as you thought it was going to be, but it'll be one that'll definitely help you in the long run, like a lot. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you enjoy your holiday or holidays, and I'll see you guys in another video.